Karuna Thurman is an American actress and former model. She has performed in a variety of films, from romantic comedies and dramas to science fiction and action films. Following her appearances on the December 1985 and May 1986 covers of British Vogue, Thurman starred in Dangerous Liaisons. She rose to international prominence with her performance as Mia Wallace in Quentin Tarantino's 1994 film Pulp Fiction, for which she was nominated for the Academy Award, the BAFTA Award, and the Golden Globe Award for Best Supporting Actress. Often hailed as Tarantino's muse, she reunited with the director to play the main role in Kill Bill, Volume 1 and 2, which brought her 2 additional Golden Globe Award nominations. Established as a Hollywood actress, Thurman's other notable films include Henry and June, The Truth About Cats and Dogs, Batman and Robin, Gattaca, Les Miserables, Paycheck, The Producers, My Super Ex-Girlfriend, Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Lightning Thief, Lars von Trier's Nymphomaniac and The House That Jack Built, and Hollywood Stargirl. In 2011, she was a member of the jury for the main competition at the 64th Cannes Film Festival, and in 2017, she was named president of the 70th edition's Uncertain Regard jury. Thurman made her Broadway debut in The Parisian Woman. Thurman won the Golden Globe Award for Best Actress in a Television Film for her performance in the made-for-HBO film Hysterical Blindness and received a Primetime Emmy Award nomination for Outstanding Guest Actress in a Drama Series for her 5-episode role in the NBC musical series Smash. She has also starred in the miniseries The Slap and the series Imposters, Chambers, and Super Pumped. Early life and family. Karuna Thurman was born on April 29, 1970, in Boston, Massachusetts. Her father, Robert Thurman, is a professor of Indo-Tibetan Buddhist studies and an author, who lived as an ordained Buddhist monk for 3 years. Her mother, Nina von Schlabrugi, a high-fashion model, was born in Mexico City to a German nobleman and a Swedish model. Thurman received a Buddhist upbringing, and spent altogether around 2 years in Almora, a town in the northern Indian state of Uttarakhand. She grew up mostly in Amherst, Massachusetts, where she went to Amherst Regional Junior High School, then moved to Woodstock, New York. She has 3 brothers, Gandon, Deshan Karl, and Mipam, and a half-sister named Tayat, from her father's previous marriage. Thurman's first cousin once removed is Swedish football player Max von Schlabrugi. She is described, in a 2004 biography, as having been an awkward and introverted girl who was teased for her appearance and unusual name. When Thurman was 10 years old, a friend's mother suggested a nose job. As a child, she suffered bouts of body dysmorphic disorder. She attended Amherst public schools. In the 8th grade, she discovered her love of acting. Talent scouts noticed her performance as Abigail in a production of The Crucible and offered her the chance to act professionally. Thurman attended Northfield Mount Hermon School, a preparatory school in Massachusetts, before dropping out to pursue an acting career. Modeling and acting beginnings. Thurman began her career as a fashion model at age 15, and signed with the agency Click Models. Her early modeling credits included Glamour and the December 1985 and May 1986 covers of British Vogue. She made the transition to acting with her film debut, the teen thriller Kiss Daddy Goodnight, which was released in 1987. Thurman was subsequently cast in 3 1988 films: Johnny Be Good, The Adventures of Baron Munchausen, and most notably, Dangerous Liaisons. In the comedy Johnny Be Good, she played the girlfriend of a top high school quarterback prospect, and in The Adventures of Baron Munchausen, she made a brief appearance as the goddess Venus. During her entrance she briefly appears nude, in an homage to Botticelli's The Birth of Venus. In the Oscar-winning drama Dangerous Liaisons, co-starring Glenn Close and John Malkovich, Thurman took on the role of a naive teenager, raped by a manipulative man. The picture was an Arthur's success, and garnered Thurman recognition from critics and audiences. Film critic Roger Ebert found her to be well cast in her tricky key role. At the time, insecure about her appearance, she spent roughly a year in London, during which she often wore loose, baggy clothing. Malkovich said of her, "There is nothing twitchy teenager-ish about her. I haven't met anyone like her at that age. Her intelligence and poise stand out. But there's something else. She's more than a little haunted." Early prominence and Pulp Fiction / None. Established career. Thurman's next films, the romantic dramedy Beautiful Girls, in which she played a fairly wise love interest, and the comedy The Truth About Cats and Dogs, in which she top-billed as a ditzy blonde model, were modest commercial successes amid a positive critical response upon their theatrical releases in 1996. In 1997, Thurman starred opposite Ethan Hawke in Gattaca, a science fiction film set in a future society driven by eugenics where potential children are conceived through genetic manipulation. The film received critical praise and became successful on the home video market, despite lackluster box office receipts. Her next film role was that of supervillain Poison Ivy in Batman and Robin. Budgeted at $160 million, the film grossed a modest $238 million worldwide and is often considered to be one of the worst films ever made. Thurman's performance, however, was largely highlighted upon the film's release. The Houston Chronicle remarked that Thurman sometimes seems to be doing Mae West by way of Jessica Rabbit, and a similar comparison was made by the New York Times. Ike Mae West. She mixes true femininity with the winking womanliness of a drag queen. She obtained a Blockbuster Entertainment Award for Best Sci-Fi Actress and was also nominated for Favorite Movie Actress at the Kids' Choice Awards. Thurman took on the role of Fantine in Les Miserables, the 1998 film version of Victor Hugo's novel of the same name, directed by Bile August. The film was considered an intelligent, handsomely crafted adaptation of the classic novel, according to Rotten Tomatoes, and on his review of the film, Roger Ebert expressed that Thurman's performance is the best element of the story. That year, she also starred as a British secret agent in The Avengers, a notable financial and critical flop. CNN described her as so distanced you feel like you're watching her through the wrong end of a telescope. In 1999, she performed in theatre in an update of Molière's The Misanthrope at the Classic Stage Company, and portrayed a socialite in Woody Allen's romantic dramedy Sweet and Lowdown. Opposite Sean Penn, Thurman was in a hiatus from acting at the time as she had her daughter in 1998, doing only a few small, low-budget projects after giving birth. She eventually turned down the role of Eowyn in Peter Jackson's The Lord of the Rings film trilogy, which she considers one of the worst decisions ever made. Thurman headlined the period drama The Golden Bowl, based on the 1904 novel of the same name by Henry James. In November 2000, she narrated the John Moran opera Book of the Dead at the Public Theatre. The historical drama Vattel saw Thurman play Anne de Montausier, the love interest of 17th-century French chef François Vattel, and in Richard Linklater's real-time drama Tape, she starred as the former girlfriend of a drug dealer and volunteer firefighter. She was nominated for the Independent Spirit Award for Best Supporting Female for her part in Tape. Hawke directed her in Chelsea Walls, a drama revolving a number of artists as they spend a single day in New York's famed bohemian home Chelsea Hotel. Thurman would win a Golden Globe for her performance in the HBO cable film Hysterical Blindness, where she was also one of the executive producers. Thurman played a New Jersey woman in the 1980s searching for romance. In its review, the San Francisco Chronicle remarked, "Thurman so commits herself to the role, eyes blazing and body akimbo, that you start to believe that such a creature could exist, an exquisite-looking woman so spastic and needy that she repulses regular Joes. Thurman has bent the role to her will. Renewed success with I Kill Bill/I. None. Commercial fluctuations. In 2006, Thurman starred opposite Luke Wilson in My Super Ex-Girlfriend, playing a superhero who is dumped by her boyfriend and then takes her revenge upon him. She received $14 million for the role, but the film was panned by critics and made a modest $61 million worldwide. Entertainment Weekly felt that it was a miscalculation to make Thurman the antagonist. She does a sprightly satiric turn, but wasted in a movie that would rather tweak male paranoia than liberate a nerdette terrified of her powers. In the 2007 film The Life Before Her Eyes, Thurman starred as an accident survivor whose guilt causes her present-day life to fall apart. It received a limited theatrical release and was dismissed by critics as a confusing, painfully overwrought melodrama. In 2008, Thurman starred with Colin Firth and Jeffrey Dean Morgan in The Accidental Husband, a romantic comedy where she played a woman who finds herself married while engaged to another man. Despite theatrical runs abroad, the film was released on DVD in North America due to financial problems with its distributor. She also took on the role of a cocaine addict in the British television drama My Zinc Bed, which garnered what was considered poor ratings, especially given her involvement. In 2009's Motherhood, she starred as a New York City mother whose dilemmas of marriage, work, and self are shown in the trials and tribulations of one pivotal day. "I've never really played a realistic mom before," she said. Distributed for a limited release to certain parts of the United States only, the independent dramedy garnered just $93,388 in 3 weeks of release. The New York Times critic A.O. Scott felt that Thurman's character is scattered, ambivalent, flaky and inconsistent, all of which is fine, and energetically conveyed by Ms. Thurman. But what are tolerable quirks in a person can be deadly to a narrative. The movie stumbles from loose and scruffy naturalism to sitcom tidiness. Thurman filmed a brief role in the fantasy adaptation Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Lightning Thief, appearing as Medusa, a Gorgon cursed by Athena. In 2011, she was a member of the jury for the main competition at the Cannes Film Festival, and her only film in the year Ceremony was released for VOD in selected theaters after its initial screening at the 2010 Toronto International Film Festival. In the independent comedy, she starred as woman on the eve of her wedding who reconnects with an old fling. By that time, she had taken on the roles of a powerful and wealthy mistress in the period drama Belle Ami, a trophy wife in the romantic comedy Playing for Keeps, and that of Lois Lane in a segment of the anthology film Movie 43. All films were panned by critics and flopped at the box office. Writing for the New York Daily News in her review for Ceremony, Elizabeth Weitzman noted, "She gets stuck in so many small, undeserving projects, one has to wonder who's mapping out her career." Transition to television and Broadway debut. Thurman ventured into television in 2012, when she joined the cast of the drama series Smash in its first season, portraying the 5-episode role of Rebecca Duvall, a Hollywood actress who wants to star in a new Broadway musical, despite having limited musical ability. Her performance garnered critical acclaim, with the AV Club writing, "Uma Thurman is a lot of fun. She gives that character some pop, playing both the shallow, demanding side of celebrity and the sincere, talented side." She earned a Primetime Emmy Award nomination for Outstanding Guest Actress in a Drama Series. Thurman appeared in the Volume I of Lars von Trier's 2-part ensemble art drama Nymphomaniac as Mrs. H, a rejected wife who confronts her estranged husband. Despite her limited screen time in the film, Rolling Stone remarked that she was sensational in a role that defies mixed feelings about female power, while Vanity Fair found her to be downright terrific, noting that she lends the character a good deal of dignity. For her part, she received a Bodile Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress, and in 2014, she won the Bambi Award for Best International Actress. In 2015, Thurman starred on the NBC miniseries The Slap, the American adaptation of the Australian series of the same name about the fallout after a man slaps another couple's misbehaving child, and played a famed restaurant critic named Simone in the drama Burnt, starring Bradley Cooper. In 2017, Thurman took on the recurring role of a fixer on the Bravo dark comedy series Imposters, which ran for 2 seasons, and was named president of Cannes Film Festival Uncertain Regard jury for works which offer a unique perspective and aesthetic. Thurman made her Broadway debut in The Parisian Woman, a play written by Beau Willimon. Set in Washington, D.C., the production saw her star as a socialite coming to terms with politics, her past, her marriage, and an uncertain future. The play ran for 141 performances, including previews, between November 2017 and March 2018, garnering a mixed critical response and what was described as strong box office returns by Playbill. The New York Times remarked, "Unlike many actors whose expertise derives from movies, has no trouble fully inhabiting and projecting even a jury-rigged character like her intelligence and, it has to be said, her innate glamour, make it possible to care about someone you do not believe in." For her role, she won the Broadway.com Audience Award for Favorite Leading Actress in a Play. The Con is On, an independent heist comedy Thurman filmed in 2015, opposite Tim Roth, was released on May 4, 2018. Both actors played a con artist couple planning a jewel heist in Los Angeles, after escaping from a notorious Russian gangster. She reunited with director Lars von Trier to play the first victim of a serial killer during the 1980s in his psychological horror film The House That Jack Built, which premiered on May 14, 2018, at the Cannes Film Festival. In her next film, the supernatural thriller Down a Dark Hall, directed by Rodrigo Cortés, Uma portrayed the role of Madame Tourette, the eccentric headmistress of a mysterious school for troubled girls. In its review for the latter film, Variety noted that she cuts an elegant figure, but her somewhat unconvincing villain could have used more notes of mystery and wit. Continued television roles and film career resurgence. Thurman played a grieving mother in the Netflix supernatural horror series Chambers, which was released on April 26, 2019. Alex McLevy, for the AV Club, felt that she sold the hell out of often absurd role, which he found to be overwritten, as part of an overall mixed response. In 2019, Thurman also received a career honorary award at the David Di Donatello Film Awards in Italy, and performed the role of Helene Alving in a revival of Henrik Ibsen's Ghosts at the Williamstown Theatre Festival. Thurman reunited with Robert De Niro, her co-star in Mad Dog and Glory, for the family comedy The War with Grandpa, in which she portrayed the daughter of his recently widowed character. Originally filmed in May 2017, the film had a lengthy post-production due to the closure of the Weinstein Company, the original distributor, but was eventually released theatrically in North America on October 9, 2020, by 101 Studios. Despite negative reviews, The War with Grandpa made $40 million worldwide, which was deemed a success amid the COVID-19 pandemic. She served as the narrator of The Age of Nature, a 3-part documentary series, which aired on PBS in October 2020. The Apple TV and thriller series Suspicion, which premiered on February 4, 2022, featured Thurman as an American media mogul whose son is kidnapped. The production received mixed reviews from critics, who collectively noted that she was barely in it at all, despite being heavily promoted. She next portrayed Arianna Huffington, the co-founder of the Huffington Post, in The Battle for Uber, the first season of Super Pumped, an anthology drama television series created by Brian Koppelman and David Levine, which debuted on Showtime on February 27, 2022. While Brian Lowry of CNN praised Thurman's efforts at a Greek accent, Adrian Horton of The Guardian described her portrayal as a cringy caricature of Huffington. Thurman made a return to film, starring as Roxanne Martel in the Disney and original film Hollywood Stargirl, which was released on June 3, 2022, on the streaming platform. She is currently filming a role as an art dealer in the upcoming crime thriller The Kill Room alongside Pulp Fiction co-star Samuel L. Jackson. In June 2022, it was announced she would portray fictional U.S. President Ellen Claremont in the Amazon Prime romantic comedy film Red, White and Royal Blue. Later that same month, it was confirmed that she joined the cast of the sequel to The Old Guard alongside Charlize Theron. Public image. General. Empire included Thurman among the 100 sexiest stars in film history in 1995, as well as the top 100 movie stars of all time in 1997. A regular feature on FHM's 100 Sexiest Women in the World from the late 1990s to the early 2000s, she also ranked at number 34, number 21, and number 30 on the Maxim Hot 100 in 2004, 2005 and 2006 respectively. In 2013, Thurman was named one of the 100 hottest women of the 21st century by GQ. On February 7, 2006, Thurman was awarded and named a Knight of the Ordre des Arts et des Lettres of France for outstanding achievement in the field of art and literature, and for her work and importance as an actress. The American rock band Fall Out Boy released a song titled Uma Thurman in 2015, celebrating the actress and her roles in Pulp Fiction and Kill Bill. She gave permission for the band to use her name, and during an interview on The Today Show, stated, "It's very, unbelievably polite and gracious of them. So sweet. I'm so happy for their big success." In 2020, scientists named a new species of fringe-toed lizard from southwest Arizona after Thurman. Fashion. The lavender Prada dress Thurman wore to the 67th Academy Awards on March 27, 1995, was admired by the media. Stylecaster.com stated that, as a result, Thurman became known for her stellar fashion sense, while Prada got a huge boost from instant name recognition the world over. Similarly, her crimson Alberta Ferretti dress at the 72nd Academy Awards on March 26, 2000, remains among her most notable, with the Daily Telegraph voting it the 20th greatest red carpet gown of all time. Thurman has been a face and spokeswoman of Lancôme, Tag Heuer, Louis Vuitton, and Parfait Givenchy. She posed for the 2014 Campari calendar and was among the actresses photographed by Peter Lindbergh for the 2017 Pirelli calendar. Personal life. Relationships. Thurman met English actor Gary Oldman on the set of State of Grace. They married in 1990 and divorced in 1992. On May 1, 1998, she married American actor Ethan Hawke, whom she met on the set of the 1997 film Gattaca. Hawke's novel Ash Wednesday is dedicated to Karuna, Thurman's middle name. Together, Thurman and Hawke have 2 children, a daughter, Maya, and a son, Levon. The couple separated in 2003, and the divorce was finalized in August 2005. Thurman began dating London-based French financier Arpad Busson in 2007, and they announced their engagement in June 2008. In late 2009, they called off their engagement, but reconciled soon after. The couple called off the engagement for the second time in April 2014. Thurman and Busson have a daughter, born in July 2012. In January 2017, Thurman and Busson began child custody negotiations in relation to their daughter, which resulted in Thurman receiving primary physical custody later that month. Stalking incidents and sexual assaults. Thurman was the target of a stalker from about 2004 to 2011. He was arrested in October 2007 and, following a trial in which Thurman testified as a witness, was convicted of stalking and harassment charges the following May. Sentenced to 3 years probation, he was arrested again in 2010 on charges of violating a restraining order by attempting to contact her. He pled guilty in November 2011 after spending 11 months in jail in lieu of bail, and was released with time served. In 2017, in the wake of the Harvey Weinstein sexual abuse allegations, Thurman was interviewed, and, when asked about the scandal, she replied, "No comment," claiming to be too angry to talk about the case. A few weeks later, through an Instagram post, she joined the #MeToo hashtag, confirming that she had suffered sexual harassment and expressing disgust for Harvey Weinstein. In a 2018 interview with the New York Times, Thurman revealed that Weinstein had sexually assaulted her in 1994 at the Savoy Hotel in London. She also revealed that she had been sexually assaulted at age 16 by an actor nearly 20 years her senior. I Kill Bill/I Car Crash. None. Activism and political views. Thurman has been involved in various philanthropic and activist causes. She is a supporter of the Democratic Party, and has given money to the campaigns of John Kerry, Hillary Clinton, and Joseph R. Driscoll. She supports gun control laws, and in 2000 participated in Marie Claire's End Gun Violence Now campaign. She is a member of the board of Room to Grow, a charitable organization providing aid to families and children suffering poverty. She serves on the board of the Debate House US. In 2007, she hosted the Nobel Peace Prize concert in Oslo, Norway, with actor Kevin Spacey. In February 2008, ahead of the 2008 Summer Olympics in Beijing, China, Thurman talked about human rights in China alongside Steven Spielberg and others, describing actions and policies carried out by the government of China as horrible and unspeakable crimes against humanity. In 2011, Thurman was one of several celebrities associated with the USAID and Ad Council's FWD campaign, an awareness initiative tied to that year's East Africa drought. She joined Geena Davis, Chanel Iman, and Josh Hartnett in TV and Internet ads to forward the facts about the crisis. During the same year, she also participated at Human Rights Campaign for LGBT civil rights, saying, "We're fighting for a conservative value, the right to make a lifelong commitment to someone you love." In 2015, Thurman joined Rhino Rescue Project and traveled to southern Africa to assist and help relocate the threatened species of black rhinoceros. Being in close contact with rhinos, Thurman defined her experience with those animals to be spiritual, surreal. In December 2017, during the allegations of sexual misconduct against Roy Moore, Thurman voiced her disapproval of his candidacy in the United States Senate special election in Alabama. In September 2021, Thurman wrote an op-ed in the Washington Post criticizing the Texas Heartbeat Act, an abortion ban that went into effect earlier that month. She called the law a human rights crisis for American women, and discussed her experience of having an abortion as a teenager after being accidentally impregnated by a much older man. She described the abortion as the hardest decision of my life, but maintained that it allowed me to grow up and become the mother I wanted and needed to be. Filmography.